What happens after we die? It's the oldest question in the book, more ancient than pyramids, more pondered than love. You, me, everyone. We've all asked it at some point, staring at the ceiling late at night or standing silently at a funeral. So where does consciousness go after death? Does it float into some cosmic cloud? Does it just vanish? Or does it continue, just in another form? Well, the Buddha had some thoughts on that. And whether you're religious, spiritual, curious or skeptical, his perspective is not only fascinating, it's deeply human. The candle metaphor. Let's start with a metaphor the Buddha used, simple but profound. He once compared life to a flame. When you light a candle and then use that flame to light another, is it the same flame? Not quite. But is it a different flame entirely? Not really either. What's happening is continuity without identity. The second flame came from the first, but it's not identical. It's connected. In the same way, the Buddha suggested that consciousness, what we might call the you behind your thoughts, doesn't just blink out when the body dies. It continues. Rebirth, but not like you think. Now hold on. When we say rebirth, let's clear something up. Buddha wasn't talking about coming back as a frog or a butterfly, unless that's part of your karma. He wasn't selling some fantasy where your soul hops into a new body like a video game avatar. Buddha actually rejected the idea of an eternal, unchanging soul. Instead, he described existence as a flowing river, not a solid stone. You aren't a fixed self. You're a combination of 5 constantly changing things. Form, your body. Sensation, what you feel. Perception, how you interpret things. Mental formations, your habits, desires, reactions. And consciousness. When you die, this bundle doesn't just vanish. Instead, based on karma, which means intentional actions and their results, this stream continues into a new form, not because you wanted it to, but because of cause and effect. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed, it doesn't become a tree because it wants to. It becomes a tree because that's just how nature works. Karma is that nature. It's the cosmic physics of behavior. So where does you go? Now here's where it gets wild. You don't go anywhere. Because you aren't a fixed thing that can go. According to the Buddha, we suffer because we cling to identity, to ego, to permanence. But the moment we realize that everything is in flux, even our very sense of self, that's when we're free. So after death, your consciousness doesn't get zipped up into heaven or deleted like a file. It transforms based on how you lived, what you thought, what you did. The more attached, angry, greedy, or selfish you were, the more likely your rebirth will reflect that. But if you lived with kindness, awareness, and compassion, you rise.